Sharing contact and vehicle records. Enterprise can be set to share or not share contact and vehicle records between locations. So at the Enterprise itself, we go to Enterprise Setup, Locations. We select the location we want to edit. Once we do that, it will open a screen, and at the bottom of that screen, you will have a choice of either checking a box to share the data or look up data within the Enterprise, or if you leave the box unchecked, you won't be able to share. So in essence, you can pick and choose which locations that you can share data with. During the initial setup of your Enterprise system, one of the features that we will do is decide if you want to share contacts. So off of our home ribbon, we're going to go to Enterprise Setup. Here you will see a list of all of your locations. Now in this particular system, I have 3 different locations. At each location, you can decide if you want to share. So by selecting this bottom button here, this location can look up data from other locations from within the Enterprise, allows you to share a contact record and vehicle record from one location to another. What the advantage of this is it keeps you from having to duplicate these records over and over at different locations. Now, if you have a particular location that you do not want to share, that's fine. You can just leave the box unchecked. This is how it would look once you're sharing. So when I go into my contacts and I'm searching for a contact, looking for Mr. Smith, I have my location contacts, and I'll be able to search the other locations. So by doing this, by sharing, I can take this contact and copy him over to my location. So that's the initial setup. You just have to decide which locations you want to share contacts with. Contact records entered at any location are available at all locations. Contact records offer a copy to, a move to, a merge with, and lock options. Copy to will share the contact record with the other locations. Move to will move the contact record to another location. Merge with will merge contact records. And a lock is where updated general information on a contact card can only be entered where that contact belongs to. Vehicle records entered at any location are available at all locations. Vehicle records offer a copy to, move to, and a merge with option. Remember, a vehicle record is a subset of a contact record, in that a vehicle record will belong to a contact, the designated owner of the vehicle. So the vehicle follows the contact. You would actually use the same procedures as outlined under contacts to manage vehicle records. You'll have options for belongs to, copy to, move to, merge with. One thing you won't have though is a way to lock it. So you won't be able to lock it at a particular location. Enterprise contacts. So we're going to highlight some of the features in Enterprise contacts and how they're utilized. So I have 2 locations here. I have location 2 and location 3. So I'm going to go into location 2, into my contacts. So we're going to pull up a contact. So we're going to search for a contact. You'll see in this location I have a contact named Evan Kozik. If I click on that contact, you'll even notice the drop down. It opens up the vehicle that they bring to me. So in this location, location 2, I have a contact along with a vehicle. If I open the contact by doing an edit, I can update any of this information. I can go and look at invoices here. So here are the invoices from this location. Now, if that contact had been at any other location, I can pull it up here. it will always tell you what location is on the far right. And from here, you can just simply double click and open up an invoice. Another feature that we have here is called "This contact can only be updated by this location." What that simply means is if I were to copy this contact over to another location, which is what we are going to do, if I have this box checked, the other location or locations cannot change anything on this page, So let's save this. If I look at this vehicle, I'm going to edit. Here's the information on the vehicle. Again, any background details, deferred work, history, invoices, things like that. And again, it's going to show me the invoice for my location. So let's say this customer ends up going to my other location. If I go into contacts and search for them, I don't see them in my location here. But I do have the capability of looking in the other locations. So if I simply click on the name, you'll notice it'll tell you which location it belongs to. So this was originally put in at location number 2. So if I want to do any work on this customer's vehicle, for example, I would simply click and copy. Now you notice the copy is grayed out. That means I've copied it over. And one of the things you want to be aware of when I bring the name over, did it automatically bring all the information on the vehicle? Let's take a look. And the easy way to tell is just simply click on it. So you see how that's lit up. So I need to copy the vehicle information too. So now I know my customer's been copied over and my vehicle's been copied over. And again, it'll always tell you where it came from. See, it belonged to number 2. Now, if I open this vehicle up, and I start looking at invoices, I don't have any invoices at this location yet. So as I start to write work orders and post invoices, then it's going to list all the invoices here. And then back here, I will see invoices from all the locations. And it's easy to do, just simply double click. You can open up an invoice at any time, get all your information. If I go back to the contact record here, let's do an edit. You'll notice that everything here is kind of grayed out. Why is that? Because when I was at location 2, I checked the box. So that'll keep me from changing anything on this page. Now I can still go to details and make updates or changes here if I need to. We're going to discuss this in more detail as we get further in the training. So now I've copied over the customer and I've copied over the vehicle, and I can go start writing work orders on them. You can also decide you don't want a customer at your location. So he's at training 2. I don't want him copied into my location. I just simply highlight it and hit delete. Type in yes. And now he's no longer in my location. So what happens when you have a customer in the system 2 times? Let's go look. Look for a customer here. I have a customer named Bill Jones that is in location 3. Here's his vehicle. If I go and edit his vehicle, I even have an invoice on his vehicle. Don't have any other invoices. If I go over to my other location, location 2, and look for Bill Jones again, I will find that somehow, some way I've accidentally entered him in the system again. So what this means is I've entered him at location 2 along with his vehicle, and I've entered him at location 3 along with his vehicle. So if I go look at the vehicle here, go to invoices. Here I have these 3 invoices. So I don't want to have the same customer in the system multiple times. I only want them in one time. So the way to do that is you need to go to the Enterprise. Again, the Enterprise is the hub. It's the center. So here I pull up my Enterprise. I'm going to go to Contacts, look for Mr. Jones, and I'm going to see that I have Mr. Jones in 2 times. Click once. Here it is in store number 2 or location 2. Here he is in location 3. If I open him up, I even have the same vehicle. So how would I go about fixing this? First of all, before you do anything, you want to decide which one you want to keep. In other words, which Bill Jones contact record do I want to keep? So let's say I want to keep the one in store number 2. So I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to do an edit. And there's a little useful tool here to help you out. What I like to do is put a little asterisk or something on the end of the name. That way I know which one I'm keeping. This really comes in handy when you have multiples. You might have this same contact in 4 or 5 times. Decide which one you want to keep. Then you merge the others into it. So I'm going to take this Bill Jones, right click, do edit, and I want to merge. So highlight, hit OK. It'll ask me to type in a code. And now I have them in one time. Let's take a look at the vehicle. Matter of fact, let's just refresh this again real quick. Now I have this vehicle 2 times. Again, I had store 2 and store 3. So I want to merge this one into that one. So again, just right click, edit, merge. And again, you cannot merge 2 vehicles together unless they're under the same name. So both of the vehicles need to be under the same name. There it is. Hit OK. Type in my code. And now I have it cleaned up. Let's refresh again real quick. I'll go back, edit, get rid of my asterisk. Don't need that anymore. Let's take a look at invoices here. See, now I have invoices from both locations. See, I didn't lose anything. This way you don't lose any history. Those are some of the key features in Contacts and Enterprise that you'll be utilizing to help you keep everything cleaned up. Contact records entered at any location are available at all locations. Move to will move a contact record that it belongs to from one location to another. The thing you must remember about this is that it can only be performed at the Enterprise. So you must go to the Enterprise to do this. So once you're in the Enterprise, you go to Contacts, you search for that record. You'll be able to open the record. You're going to do edit. And then at that point, you'll be able to move it from one location to another. All records will follow, even the vehicles will follow along with it. One of the last features that we have in Contacts is a Move To feature. So in this example, what I'm going to do is show you how to move a contact from one location to another location. So here I have my Enterprise training number 2, location number 2, and on the left I have my Enterprise. So in order to move a contact from one location to another, I have to perform this at the Enterprise. Cannot do it at the location. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to location 2. We're going to go to contacts. We're going to pull up a contact. So I have a contact here, Joanna Wool, that is no longer going to be coming to this particular location. Now if I highlight it and edit, see I have no way to move this contact from one to another. Best thing I could do is maybe merge or delete or something like that. Okay. So I have to go to the Enterprise to do this. If I come over to Enterprise, pull up that contact. Let's do a little edit. So if I look down at the bottom of the card, see this contact belongs to location 2. And again, it'll even tell me right here. Now I have a feature here called Move To. Again, you're only going to see this at the Enterprise. So what I simply do is open it up. Now I need to choose where I want to move it to. So let's say we're going to move it to location 1. We hit OK. Type in a little code. It always asks for a little code. Hit OK. And now they belong to location 1. So here I've opened up location number 1, and let's see what happened. So off my home ribbon, I'm going to go to contacts, and we're going to search for that customer. There it is in this location, so that means it's in location 1. Click it. There's my vehicles. Do an edit. And there we go. So now I've moved it over to that location. So again, moving allows you to move a customer along with their records and vehicles over from one location to another, which comes in quite handy whenever you have customers that move around a lot. When it comes to vehicles, you can move them also. So here I am in the Enterprise. I pulled up a customer named George Jackson that has a Kia Soul. This Kia Soul, if I right click and do an edit on it, I have the capability of actually doing 2 different types of moves. If I wish to move this vehicle over to a different contact, I can open this up, search my system for that contact, find the contact, hit OK, type in my code and move that vehicle over from one contact to another. So if I hit OK, now it no longer belongs to George. Now the history will still be here. So if I do a little edit, let's go look at some invoices. I don't lose any of this. Now any invoices that were under George's name, they will still be George's name on here. The second move to that you have in here is to move it from one location to another. So here I am in number 1. I can move it over to location 2 and do the same thing. Type in my code, hit OK. Now I've moved that over to location 2, which is where Mr. Kozik is, and I have the vehicle in along with the history. Contact and vehicle record details. When copying a contact and vehicle record from one location to another, you must update the contact details and vehicle details if you want to keep continuity in the records. In the contact card, the details include the following: categories, discounts, accounting, such as accounts receivable, other. Under other, you will find purchase order required, email invoice setting, and attributes if being used. On the vehicle details, that would be for discounts if you want to override the contact card. Contact details. These are a few features that you want to be aware of whenever you're copying over. So brought up Mr. Kozik again, copied him over to location number 3 here. Let's take a look at some of the details on him. So if I edit this contact at location 2, and I go to my details section, you see again here it has a listing of invoices, how much money he spent. We go to contact categories. I have him categorized as a government customer. Let's go and look at him at the other location. I'm going to edit, bring that card over, details. Haven't done any work orders yet or invoices. You'll notice I don't have a category for government here. So these are some of the things that you need to make sure you set up when you copy them over. So if I want to select a specific category, I can. Same thing is going to go with discounts. Here it has it set up to use the default. This one is using a specific government rate. You know, a lot of people question, why do I have to set this up? Well, you have to remember your locations are not always in the same place. They're going to be maybe over a large metroplex area, could be from state to state or province to province. So it's going to change depending on where the location is at. So these are all items that you want to make sure you set when you copy them over. Same thing goes with tax exemptions. Here he's tax exempt on this. If I go to this location, it hasn't been set up, so I'd have to go set the exemption. Okay. Accounting is typically controlled either at the enterprise or the location. Here, when I go to accounting and I look here, he has an enterprise receivable. In other words, it's all going to go to the enterprise. Where here, we don't have that. Other, default to email only. I go down to this one, I select it, but you see I have different attributes here versus this location. So it just depends on which location they're at on what you're going to set. So these are some of the things you want to be aware of whenever you copy over a contact. Another place that you have that is in the vehicle itself. So if I edit the vehicle, let's bring this over. Go to details. See here again, I haven't done any invoices yet. I also have discounts. So at the vehicle level, you can override a contact and change it. So these are the things you want to be aware of. Make sure you follow through on this whenever you copy over a contact from one location to another. Again, as a quick little review here, whenever I copy a contact over from one location to another location, you do want to double check the settings. Some of the things that will follow will be a marketing source. So if the marketing source here was set up the same at both locations and it was selected at the original location, yes, it would follow over. But since they're not and they weren't set, it did not follow over. When I go to details, contact categories will follow over. if they're set up at the enterprise and shared across all the locations. Attributes, as these features right here, will follow across. Things that won't would be discounts, such as pricing profiles or specific labor rates or labor part discount, tax exemptions, accounting. Accounting depends on how it's set up. So if I look at this, he has no receivable at the account that I copied him over to, but he does have an enterprise receivable at this location. All this simply means is we're managing the receivable at the enterprise, but when we set it up, we told the system that he could only charge at this particular location. So at the enterprise, I would actually open it up and I can change it around. So again, I want to impress upon you, always check the details. Make sure that they're set properly whenever you copy over. Thank you for watching Sharing Contact Records and Vehicle Records. If you need more detailed information, please refer to the printed text in the Help section under Enterprise Setup.